Watching, I'm going to show you how to get a micro app up and running. We're going to be using the Movie DB just as a demo. For those of you that may have seen my article over, you can go and grab it on blog.1m.com and you'll see it's here under tutorials. So this is what we're going to be doing here, build a micro app in less than 2 hours hopefully. So I'll go back to the repo here. Just to check some prerequisites first of all. We're going to make sure we have Node installed, and we're going to grab our API key from moviedb.org, and we're going to sign up on the developer portal. So first things first, let's just check we have Node installed, which I'm running version 10. I've also got Git, of course, as well, and I have ngrok installed also. Ngrok is great. It gives you a secure tunnel. Here you can see ngrok. I've installed this one already. It gives you a secure tunnel on a particular port that your app is listening to. If you haven't used it before, it's great. So this will give you a public URL that anybody can access in a tunnel to your application running locally on localhost. So it's great for testing or for demos and things like that. Okay, so Node's installed. I'll just show you where I got my API key from. So that was over here at moviedb.org, and I'm in. I went to Settings, API, and then we're going to use this token v4, the v4 auth token. We're going to grab that one and use that in a second. Okay, so well, first things first, let's clone the repository. And then I'm going to cd into that one. I'm going to npm install. And whilst we're waiting for that one, next thing we're going to do is create an environment file with our settings. So we're going to tell our app to listen on port 3000. We're going to grab our token from the MovieDB, and we're going to use a random string as a way to verify that our micro app is being called from 1M and not from some imposter. So our npm install has worked. Let me just copy this for a second. Sorry, 1 second here. I'm going to copy the token across from the MovieDB, which was in here. Now, token secret, let me just explain that one quickly. When the 1M framework calls our application, it will include in the header a JSON web token that's been signed with a particular token secret value of your choice. This allows you to verify that the 1M framework is actually calling your app and not someone else's app, or it's not some imposter that's trying to pretend that it's the 1M framework. So it's just a little way to authenticate the 1M framework. I'm just going to create I'd definitely recommend choosing something more secure than 8765431, but in this case I'm just choosing something I can remember. So here we have our environment defined. Let's scoot back to the instructions and see what's next. We're going to run ngrok and just get that up and running. I'll do that in another window. I've got another window running in the background here. So I'm going to run ngrok HTTP 3000. I happen to have some other ngroks running, so I'm going to tell it to use a different region. Don't need to do that really. And here we'll see that now we have a link to port 3000 which is accessible on the public internet. I'm going to use that one in a second. Okay, so that's step 2 done. Alright, it says make a note of the link, we'll do that in a second. Go over to the OneIn portal and create the app. So, OneIn portal, the links are at the top here. Here we go, here's OneIn portal. So I've already got that open in the tab. I'm going to sign in with my GitHub. I've already got an app created from another demo that I did, but I'm going to hit here create app, create a new app, give it a description, testing the MovieDB API, callback URL. Now this will be our ngrok API, sorry, our ngrok tunnel. I'm going to put here /API because I'll show you in a second that's what our micro app is expecting. And I'm going to use the value of token secret that I used previously, which was here. Right. In a production application you should of course have a privacy policy, as any good developer would. In this case we're just testing. I'm going to use the OneIn privacy policy. And then create the application. So our application is running. That's a fantastic name, boils.com, lovely, we love that. And here are the settings. Here's a token secret, here's our callback URL. We're on the free plan, and so you can just try this out for free. Okay, so that is step 3 done. Now we're on step 4, which is we're going to edit the index HTML. Let me just explain quickly the setup that we have. Very quickly, we have the this is the index file, which is, you'll see, it's just a very simple Express application, and it's serving up public folder index HTML, which is just here. So we're the public folder index HTML, and we're going to on-comment this section at the bottom, which will launch our micro app. We're going to grab the app ID from a developer portal, which is over on the web channel tab. I'm going to copy that one, paste it in, hit save. Now we can actually launch the application. It's listing on port 3000, which should be this one here. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste it into a new tab. And lo and behold, down the bottom we have our micro app running. And it's fired up and serving the home page. The home page, you'll see, if I just show you what it's done, you will see that it's called, the OneIn framework has called the /API route with a get, and so that's our landing page. So our application, what it's done is, what has it done? It's using this route /API, which is defined in app_API/route. What's happened at this point is that we have defined some middleware here. We've told it any paths on this API to call getUser and validate the token which we defined in the environment variable using JWT. I'm just using JWT simple to decode the token and grab the user. We're not actually using the user in this version of the application, we'll use it later on. And we're calling, if everything goes well with this getUser, we're then calling next. Otherwise we're returning an error. And the interesting part is down here. We're using 1M framework, which is, in this case we're using the Node SDK. So this requires statement up here, 1M SDK. This will respond with some JSON. So what's happening is, first of all, it's loading a pug template. It's then processing that pug template and responding with some, converting that pug HTML into JSON and returning to the GET, the HTTP GET, in the response body with some JSON, according to what the 1M framework is expecting. So the pug is here in view landing, which is on this path, API views landing.pug, which is actually here. So you can see what we've defined is a simple menu, which comprises of a section tag, the header, movie menu, an image in this case that we're grabbing from the movie DB, and a menu consisting of an unaltered list and 3 menu items. And in this case, just because it's a simple demo, I've hard coded the 3 movie IDs that are from the API, the movie DB API, and we're just serving up a menu. When I click on Mad Max button, the 1M framework will make a call, an HTTP GET to API /movie/movie ID. So let's try it. I click on Mad Max. I'll show you in the ngrok logs. You'll see it's called API movie and then the movie ID. And if I show you on the go back to root, you can see down here I have defined a root for movie and /ID. We're saving the movie ID from recparams.id, and we're then calling the movie DB API to grab the movie details and respond. Further down here we're responding with some more JSON. In this case we're serving up and the next view, which is the movie view, again converting that to JSON. So let's have a look at our movie view, which is here, movieview.pug. This one is another menu. It comprises of a header with the title variable that we passed. I'll show you in a second. We passed this data, dynamic data, into the template. We're serving up the image, and we're serving up 2 paragraphs, the overview and the release date. So when I clicked on the movie DB, in this case, sorry, it was Mad Max, we had the title, Fury Road, the image, 2 paragraphs, overview and release date, and a button to take us back to the main menu. Let me just show you how we injected the dynamic data into the template. We're back to the root. You can see that we did that just here. So I created, we got this data variable, which we got back from the call to the movie DB API, and in the second parameter we passed that to load template. With some data which is optional. So here you can see the description, load template, it's expecting template file, followed by the any data that you want to pass to the template. And then lastly we call response.from tag and response.json, which will then convert our template into JSON for us and compile it. And and if I, just to show you, go back to main menu, another button, it will take us back to the home screen. Okay, so enjoy that one. I'm going to come back and show you in part 2 something that gets a bit more interesting with forms and dynamic data searching. We're going to do some more interesting things with the MovieDB API. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching.